A federal grand jury has subpoenaed 3 high-ranking Obama-era officials, former CIA Director John Brennan and former FBI officials Peter Strzok and Lisa Page. It's all part of the Justice Department's investigation into the Trump-Russia probe, and more subpoenas could be on the way. Here to react, former White House press secretary and host of Saturday in America, Kayleigh McEnany. So great to have you on so many complicated stories here. So big picture with the John Brennan subpoena. Tell us, what do we know right now?
Yes. So there's not a lot we do know. Right. These are subpoenas. These are not indictments. We do know that Jim Jordan issued a criminal referral to him, to the DOJ, based on false statements that he allegedly made regarding the Trump-Russia probe. So we know that, but we don't know if this investigation has any nexus to that particular allegation. What I do know, though, is you remember the Peter Strzok, Lisa Page lovebird text. And I was going back through my notes and reading them, and there's this stellar one: "We will stop Trump from becoming the president," allegedly. That is what was said. That's the paraphrase of the text. So there was this sinister insertion of a political preference, it seemed, from people who were involved in this investigation we now know is a hoax, Crossfire Hurricane. Not to say there's criminal wrongdoing there from Lisa Page or Peter Strzok, but we know it was a sham investigation. We know it weighed down his presidency for 2 years. It was deeply unfair to the American people, and we all remember the Russia collusion narrative.
It wound up being all we ended up talking about, and
yes,
this is what the definition of deep state. Now, real quickly, not to dwell on this, but in terms of the subpoena itself, that simply means that they are going to be called before that federal grand jury. So then that might elicit even more information.
Yes, just to answer questions pursuant to that fact pattern. No allegation at this point of an indictment against any of these 3 individuals.
Now, second up, I want to ask you about, so Supreme Court Justices Brett Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett met with some conservative college law school students and kind of gave them a buck them up message about the importance of sticking to your principles. It's kind of amazing to think that you still have to do that in law school today.
Yeah, it is amazing. And look, I've got my Harvard Law School ring on. I very much enjoyed my time there. Yes, it's a liberal campus, predominantly liberal students. Yeah. But I love this message because I don't think the answer is to drown these huge campuses, these big institutions of conservatives. It's to have bold conservatives there. You know, I was at Harvard. Avi Berkowitz was at Harvard in my same law school class. He, of course, went on to be Jared Kushner's right-hand man in the Abraham Accords. So I love this message to them about conservatives being bold on campus. You become a target, but if we don't have them there, we can't see these institutions to liberals.
Yeah, and the DEI stuff is so stupid, but actual diversity of thought is what actually makes good lawyers, because you have to defend yourself.
Charlie, when I was at Harvard, these students, these radical leftists, put a piece of tape on the wall and said privileged speech goes on this side and non-privileged speech on this side. And I thought to myself, we're all training to be lawyers here, and I'm not sure that's the intent our founders had when they put free speech into the Constitution, to separate speech based on what is more noteworthy or important.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.